What's up, everybody? This is Mr. Second Passport. Today we're going to cover a trick that I have learned from acquaintances in the Galapagos on how to, as a foreigner or an outsider not from Galapagos, be able to reside in Galapagos, right? It's not as easy as you think. You can't just get up and move there. Galapagos Islands are by far and away probably the nicest place Ecuador has to offer. At least the nicest beaches by far. They remind me a little bit of Hawaii and Ecuador kind of mixed together. You know, South Pacific. You could say volcanic beaches, right? Obviously, a ton of wildlife. Also, a little background on Galapagos. Starting about 1998 ish, right in that time, there was a law that was made that no new outsiders could live in Galapagos after that date. You couldn't just move there anymore. And everyone there had legal right to stay, and they became a Galapageno or whatever. So that's kind of the history behind the islands a little bit. Um, but obviously, I really like them, and it's one of the few places in Ecuador where the real big money goes to travel. Just the beaches in general, the turquoise water, the white sand beaches, the black sand beaches. It's really a special place, especially with the wildlife and everything. And it's a nice, warm place to live. I'm surprised more people don't snowbird there, honestly. But as a foreigner or even an outsider, being from Ecuador, trying to go to Galapagos, you can only be in Galapagos for, it used to be 3 months a year, but I've heard now that it's 2 months uh, in a row in any given year time. So 2 to 3 months, it's right in there as far as the continuous time you're allowed to be in Galapagos in a 1 year period, being an outsider of Galapagos, even Ecuadorian. But what is the trick to living in Ecuador? I have learned from acquaintances that I have in Galapagos, right? What they've told me is that one way, that you can kind of get in, if this is a place you might want to reside, is if you signed a rental contract that's been legally registered and certified by the Ministry of Tourism in Galapagos, um, which isn't as easy as it sounds. According to my acquaintances, 8 years ago, they stopped giving tourist licenses out to new businesses. So it's not like you can just move there, rent whatever house or whatever, put an Airbnb, and that'll give you a reason to stay there. Because it won't. You you need to rent an actual business in Ecuador, legally registered business, and with that rental contract, you can get residency in Galapagos. As far as buying land and things like that and property, I just forget about it. It's way more complicated. You have to be from Galapagos in order to buy in Galapagos, obviously, generally speaking. So this is one way you can reside in the Galapagos legally for extended periods of time, right? By renting a business, leasing a business certified and registered by the Ministry of Tourism. That would give you a possibility of residing on the islands. And I'll be covering more this year on the channel from Galapagos itself. So stay tuned. I'm Mr. Second Passport. Take care.